I'm Leslie Berger, and I would like to welcome you to this episode of Renew. Renew is a show about the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University. The College of Forest Resources works to promote and enable the conservation, management, and wise use of our natural resources. The college has 3 departments, and today this show will feature one of those 3 departments, the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts. Joining me now is Professor Tammy Franca from that department. Hi, glad you were able to come.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, we were talking earlier, we've got a chance to visit before,
Yes.
so I'm really excited about this opportunity to kind of follow up with that conversation and see what you've been doing since our last conversation. But for those who may not have seen that episode, would you mind telling me what it is you do in the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts?
Yeah, so I'm an assistant professor at the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts. Our name is Sustainable Bioproducts, and one of our main bioproducts is wood, since wood comes from a living organism, the tree. And my main area is biodegradation and protection of wood, so I research fungi, termites, how we can protect so the house will not fall or decay, and I always relate this to mechanical and physical properties of wood.
Okay, so explain that. What do you mean when you say you relate that to the mechanical and physical properties of wood? What do you mean by that?
Because when you have decay attacking or termites attacking, the strength of the product will go down. So I usually try, one of my research is to detect early decay, like if you have a disease, if you detect as early, you can treat better. The same way I try to detect decay on a building. So if I detect early on, I have less problem than if it's degraded. And that affects the more decayed, less strength, higher chance to failure and have all the problems.
Right. So I understand that as a homeowner living in the Southeast. I do have termite protection on my house, in theory. We did have emergence one time, and that was very exciting. And so I understand detection for termites. There's some things you can be looking for, but fungi and those other things, I mean, how do you tell what's going on when that supporting wood structure is hidden inside of walls?
Well, and that's one of my research. We can do visual assessment, which is not going to give us, because honestly, 5% of decay can reduce 30% of your strength. So ways that we can do, we are researching, for example, non-destructive testing, that we will not destroy the wall, but we will be able to come with like vibration or ultrasound, something to detect that. But it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy.
Because it's not visible. But that is astounding that there is that loss of strength with what seems like a really minor loss or
and
invasion.
actually, when you see the decay is already far away. So that's why one of my research areas is to detect early or incipient decay.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to have to rethink that decay I've seen on my door frame going into my garage that's caused by water. So clearly you're really excited about this kind of research. How do you take that excitement about the research and bring it into the classes that you have to teach at Mississippi State?
Yes, I actually teach 3 classes. One is an introduction to freshmen. So we tell all from tree growth all the way to the market, and I teach biodegradation and advancements of wood science. I try to relate to the real world. Because we just talked, see how easy it was for me to explain the decay because you related that to your garage. That's how I do. So this morning I was telling them why wood shrinks and swells, so I relate to their real world.
Right, so they can see those connections.
Yes.
So you have graduate students that you supervise as well. We'll be visiting with one of those students in just a little bit. What are some of the things that you try to impart to those students while they're here, beyond just the knowledge?
Passion. If they have the passion, if they do what they love, they will have success. They will success in life. So.
Okay. Sometimes people are intimidated by science, that maybe they think they have to be, super smart or, nerdy, give up something to be a scientist. But, I'm looking at you, you don't fit, what many people think is being a scientist.
No, I don't at all. I'm not a nerdy. I actually have life, Right. I do hobbies, I bike, and actually science is everywhere. So you don't need to be that scientist that you think. But yes, there are much more. As a scientist, you can do so more. You don't need to fit on that specific stereotype that we have.
Right.
It's actually very cool.
No, I agree with you as being a scientist. Well, I look forward to visiting with your graduate student here in just a minute. Thank you for stopping by and
Thank you.
visiting with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Want a career as big as the outdoors? Want to have an impact on the environment? The College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University delivers hands-on training, ensuring clean air and water, wildlife habitats, and a sustainable environment. Creating new wood products and retooling old ones for today and tomorrow. Find a career in whatever path you choose. Majors in forestry, natural resource and environmental conservation, sustainable bioproducts, wildlife, fisheries, and aquaculture. Want a career as big as the outdoors? Choose the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University.
Discovery. It tells our history and determines our future. At Mississippi State University, we're digging deep, unlocking an understanding of our past, validating it. Middle East exploration by faculty and students is uncovering evidence that unravels ancient mysteries. Scholars have long thought of the biblical kings David and Solomon as mythological figures. Our research offers evidence that supports their existence, boosting MSU into an international league of experts on archaeology. Now we're changing the way people think about the past, opening up new possibilities of understanding for future generations. Digging deeper, learning more.
Hi, welcome back to Renew. We've been learning a little bit more about the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts in the College of Forest Resources. And joining me now is one of the graduate students from this department, Mercy Ogurunku. How did I do?
You did great.
Okay. I expect that you are used to people maybe stumbling over your name because this is not your home. Where are you from and why are you here?
Okay, I'm from Nigeria and it's Mercy Ogurunku. So I'm a graduate student at the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts here in the Mississippi State University. I'm a student under Dr. Temi. I did environmental science in my undergrad. I also have a college degree as well, which I also did environmental health technology. Mm-hmm. And it has been my desire to be this person that is different, like pursue something for a future career that is different from just the normal environmental science. And I got recommended to Dr. Tami, and I'm here for my graduate study. I'm doing a research under her at the moment.
Okay, so you're sitting in Nigeria and you get a recommendation to visit with Dr. Tami in Mississippi State.
Correct.
How did that happen?
Okay, I have this mentor that knows about my passion to do something quite different. You know, while we were going through this period of training for my college degree and for my university degree, it's been about sustainability, it's been about environmental friendly materials, it's been about biomaterials, it's been about a lot of terms that we have to come up with over and over again. But I have this passion to do something that is not what everyone are doing in the profession or in the discipline. I want to be unique. Really, I don't know how to do that, but I really want to do that. But my mentor knew about that, so she recommended me to Dr. Tami that I have a mentee that
is an amazing
that would love
story.
to work with you,
So what
correct.
does sustainability mean to you?
Okay, the first time I heard that question, what it means to me is making sure that the materials we're using now is enough for us and it's also enough for the future.
Yeah, I love that definition, and I agree 100% with that. So how does your research project tie to that definition?
Okay, at the moment, I'm working on expanding markets for timber industrial mat for mats that are manufactured from CLT hardwood CLT. Industrial mats, people call it access mats, crane mats. It's just a temporary road that help construction sites while moving heavy equipment or machineries to protect the natural inhabitants of those environments, like the flowers, the plants and animals. And this is just to protect them. So when the construction or the project is done, they can go back to their normal state before the project.
Right.
And hardwood is something that is very common. We have it in abundance in the United States, right? And softwood is the major thing that has been used to produce this. So but we want to see how can we also make sure that the hardwood that we have in abundance in America is being used as well. So we want to see, is it possible to have them perform the same way?
Right.
Like the softwood, like in terms of their durability, in terms of their mechanical properties, in terms of the life cycle, the span life, right? So and that is all what sustainability is all about.
Right, so that's sustainability, and actually in two directions, because you're talking about being able to use these hardwood trees that perhaps aren't being used in any kind of way. So we can grow new trees, so we can take them and use them and grow new ones, so that's sustainable. But you're also protecting the integrity of the forest or construction site by using these woods to produce a mat that the heavy equipment can travel on, so you don't get the big rutting and the soil erosion, and protecting water quality and the vegetation, like you mentioned. So it's really multiple definitions of sustainability. Where do you want to go next after you solve this question with your view of being unique?
Okay, I want to do my PhD. I'll be going for my PhD because I want to become a professor.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're going to share your research and your teaching with other people?
Exactly, a life of impact.
Right. Why this focus on being unique? Is this just who you are? Are you going back to Nigeria and be able to take these unique skills and help the people there? Or
being unique is also, I'll be getting a lot of knowledge from America, right? I also want to give back to the society which has trained me to become that person I want to become.
Right.
And also back home, I may just be someone that will be impacting the life of younger ones back home, or probably be a mentor to people back home, and that is my way.
Yes, well, that's beautiful. You've got a great mentor in Dr. Francis, so
You're right.
I think you'll be learning a lot from her that you can take and use.
Correct.
So I have really enjoyed getting to visit with you. I hope the rest of you that are watching us today have learned a little bit more about some of the activities in this department, not just on the science, but just the people that Mississippi State is helping to grow to serve our community at large. Thank you for joining us at Renew. I've been your host, Leslie Berger.